Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. Up and on, guys. Today is Monday, April 7th. I keep saying March for some reason, but so what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about how things can change from what a customer tells you on the phone or through an email or through a message through Messenger, and what you end up finally having or getting when you show up. We're going to tell you about yesterday's pickup and drop offs. Stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know it. And yes, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Monday, the 7th of April, 2025. So what are we going to be talking about today? Today I want to talk about how miscommunications of what a customer tells you and then what you actually end up with when you get there. And thank God for years of experience, especially Claude's experience, we always prepare for the unknown, right? We never take customers at word anymore. And why is that? Because they tell you one thing, and then when you get there, it's something totally different. Yesterday was no different. Yesterday we started out because the customer I had scheduled for a Monday morning pickup, and they weren't going to be there, which is fine. We do a lot of pickups during the week when customers aren't home. Just leave it out where we can see it, and we'll back up to it, load it, and if you get home and it's gone, we've got it. But this is a new customer, and they wanted to be there to meet us and to help us get things loaded. So my son sent me a message because he knew we were doing that yesterday. He said, "Look, I'm free. I'll go with you just in case you and Cloud run into problems." And it turned out good because he was our master driver. And my job was just sitting there with looking good as a passenger with heated seats on and then running the winch controls. But once we were about a mile from the customer's house, didn't one of the rear tires blow on the tandem axle trailer? I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. We're this close. Continue on to the customer's place so that they know that we're not throwing them a curveball and show them it's a flat tire. And of course the spare was in the other truck, the dually, from where it had blown a tire a couple weeks ago, and we didn't get it fixed. So we were going to pick up a small tractor, a four-wheeler, and a six-wheeler. And when we got there, it went from that to a tractor and a six-wheeler. Now, hindsight is 2020. We probably could have loaded that six-wheeler and taken it back with us and not made much difference to the tire that ended up being trash by the time we drove from Potsdam home on it. But we decided to go back empty. We get to Claude's house, back in, and him and Robert looked like they were doing pit stops because they had two jacks under two trailers, and they're taking the tire off from Claude's trailer, putting it onto my trailer, and then putting a smaller 14-inch tire onto Claude's trailer so it had a tip to it instead of being flat. And off we went again. But the thing I'm talking about of how it's different was that the customer had explained that what we were looking at was a tractor that was running and driving and just needed to be changed from a 12 or a 6 to a 12 volt system. What would that cost to have it done? And I give them a ballpark of under 400, and that was good. And then the six-wheeler, it just stalled, and they hadn't been able to get it started. Claude, he was doing the Catholic cross signs when I mentioned a ATV. Told him not to worry about it. I would take care of it. He just laughed at me. So we're there and we're talking to the customer, her and her boyfriend. Come to find out that she had been going through a bitter divorce, and the six-wheeler ran great. She was using it to plow snow with, and then it just seized up. She didn't know if her husband may have put something in the gas tank. And how long ago was that? Oh, about 2 years. 2 years ago. And it was, the message that she sent me was they had been using it right along, and it quit right where it is. I guess that was true if you took out the disgruntled ex-husband and did it. 2 years had passed since it had happened. I grabbed the recoil on it. Nothing. Even my son, which is twice the strength I have, give it a yank. Nothing. But we're going to load that sucker. We're here. Tractor? No, tractor hadn't been running a couple of years either. Because something to do with the wiring is shorted out and it needed a whole new whip from front to back. I'm like, you're kidding me. So neither one of them were running, but the message they sent to me was one was running, needed a 12 volt conversion, and the other one had just quit. You see how both of them are true to extent, but timeline, 2 years had passed. Nobody said anything about the ex-husband and the things he may have done to it. And that's what I mean by when a customer wants you to come fix something, you have to prepare for anything. I mean, Claude was thinking the worst is starting the tractor, hooking it to the side or the six-wheeler and pulling it up on. But in the end, we had to use the winch to pull them both up on and get them home. So we went all the way back, got the trailer tire fixed, replaced, came all the way back, got the tractor first. And we asked the guy, since he had a little Mahindra, if he could pull the six-wheeler in line with the parking lot that they had that was a nice, good stone base. Because either side of it was just slime, clay, and you don't want to get off with your truck on that. So while we were gone, he pulled it out. And my son backed in from the road, which is about 200 yards to where the six-wheeler was. And I'll tell you, that six-wheeler pulled harder than the tractor did coming up the ramps. But just about every tire on it was flat as well. So, I mean, the moral of the story is, one, you can't give up. You got a job to do, get her done. And two, never trust your customers and what they tell you until you get there and look. A lot of people would have turned their tails and run for the house. Not us. We decided, no, a job's a job. Well, the rewiring, putting a new whip in it, that's no big deal. It's going to be costly. Getting it running, again, more costly than just a simple under 400, and then tackling the 6 to 12 volt system. Side by side, she said she was willing to dump $2 to $3 grand into it. That wouldn't have been worth $500 on a good day, but she was looking at what it would cost to replace it. I get it, ma'am, but might better get a back blade for the tractor. Let's get that running, and you can use that to plow the snow with versus the six-wheeler. Can we get it running? We're going to find out. But my gut says no. Not if he dumped sugar in the gas tank, sand in the gas tank. Who knows what he did to it. But you guys, especially with shops, you probably got horror stories too, where a customer comes in and tells you one thing and then it's totally different. I don't know how many times I've been told by a customer that the lawnmower just quit running, you were going right along, everything was working perfect, but they forgot to mention that they hit a piece of pipe or concrete in their yard and stalled it. And I've seen mowers come in, actually a zero turn, and only have 2 blades on it out of the 3. The other one was missing the nut and the blade, and trying to figure out where the heck did that blade go. Guy said it wasn't mowing right. Wasn't mowing right because it only had two blades underneath it. The third one was gone. And when I mentioned it to him when he come to pick it up, he said he thought that might be the problem. Might. You can never quote a price to a customer until you actually get your hands on it. And then it's a diagnostic, right? This is what it's going to cost to fix it. The customer won't become truthful until you start telling them what you found. That's when the real truth starts coming out for most of my customers. I still have some customers that will deny, it's that deny, right till the bitter end. That whatever it wasn't his or her fault. And I've seen that a lot with stuff that come in on warranty. People wanting us to warranty stuff that if you abuse it, if it's a customer's abuse issue, it's not a warranty issue. It's a stupidity issue. But how do you guys handle it? Put it in the comments of when a customer tells you X, Y, and Z and you get it and it's PQRS, piece of, normally if we had a lot of work at the shop, we would have just taken the tractor and called it good. But right now we could use the extra work. I'll take a shot at looking at that side-by-side or six-wheeler. And if it needs engine work, we're taking it back with blown up tires so we can roll it off. It's not worth putting a couple grand into it. But it is worth the diagnostic fee to see if something simple may be just holding it up, that we'll find out. But put in the comments some of your horror stories that you've had with customers. If you notice, I'm keeping the videos a little shorter. Let me know what you think. Do you want the longer one? Do you want the shorter one? What works best for you? So on that note, you guys have a great Monday, and we'll catch you here bright and early tomorrow morning.